Grace and peace, y'all. I hope everybody's feeling blessed today. Oh my gosh. I've had the most amazing day. For those of you who don't know, today is 11/11 portal. This is a very special portal. And we're going to get into this. This is the reason for this video in the first place, you guys. So let's jump right in. Starting off with welcome to Wisdom Became Her, that good old safe space where we go ahead and unpack our traumas so we can walk in the grace that God so lovingly gives us. If you are new here, welcome in. I'm glad you found our little corner of healing. Go ahead and subscribe. Why? Because if God has guided you here, He has guided you home. If you are returning, hey soul family, welcome back. Go ahead and like this video, and you know what to do. Share it with somebody who you know you needs it. So go ahead, hit the share button, and those first two people, you know they need this, so send it to them, okay? Go ahead, I'll wait. All right, on with this video. All right, so today I've been receiving crazy downloads. The very first download I received, I was getting on the bus on my way to the gym, and I heard, you can't spell families without lies. And immediately I was like, wait a minute, that sounds very familiar. So I go digging, and coincidentally enough, of course we don't believe in coincidence, we know synchronicities, God know what He's doing. I see that I had a video. My very first video on this platform was you can't spell families without lies. Wild, right? So that was the first download that I got. Then as I'm getting ready to do my praise and worship cardio, because you know, you gotta give it up for God. If you're gonna be doing it, do it for God. I heard the dynamic of families has always been corrupted, but the definition has never been truly defined. Meaning, when it comes to what we think family should be known as, we have it all wrong. And we've been walking around with it all wrong. And this is why we have so much hardship when it comes to our lineage and how we're growing. Now, the very last download I'm going to touch on was the true understanding of how family dynamics are supposed to be understood is through that of what we know schooling is. You guys, it couldn't have been any clearer. So let's dig deep. So as I started to really dissect what this message is coming into, we need to all begin to really understand that our idea of family is so tainted because we believe that these blood ties that we have to the people who we grew up with, as well as time. So it's blood and time. Those two things are the things that are destroying the ideas of family units. Because you being blood related to someone does not mean that that person stays in your life forever. And the amount of time you knew somebody for does not mean that that person stays in your life forever. Time also, the understanding that just because someone is a great-grandparent does not make them more wise than an 8-year-old who has an abundance of wisdom. So we got time all screwed up as well. So we're going to get into all these messages and start pulling on it. I'm going to pull some cards, but I'm going to start off with just the clarification of where we going with it. So the first thing we need to understand is that when God is calling for us to understand that families are supposed to look like school units, it would look something like your grandparents being the principal, your mother and father, your parents, your aunts and your uncles, they would be considered the teachers in the school. Your siblings, your cousins, even your friends you grow up with, they're all considered your classmates. And that's the hierarchy. Now, when it comes to time also can mean that just because someone is an aunt and they should be a teacher, that when your interactions are flowing, you may understand that that aunt is a classmate as well. Oh yeah, we getting deep, y'all. We getting deep, so I hope you're ready. We got a pen and paper and you taking notes, because I'm about to school all y'all. We here, we in school. Now, before I dig too deep into the time aspect, we just gonna talk simply about the schooling aspect. Now, all of y'all have gone to school. Everybody. Doesn't matter where you're from, you've been to school at some point. When you are in school or you're being schooled, you understand that if you go with a whole bunch of other people who are in school, you've seen classmates graduate past you, classmates who you went to school with for the first 2 years. Maybe they were a year ahead of you. They've left. They've moved on. You've seen people drop out, or heard of it at least. People getting left back once, twice, 3 times. We've also heard of people getting skipped a grade and surpassing and moving forward to the point that they barely even needed any more schooling. We've seen it all when it comes to schooling. So the issue that comes up when it comes to us believing in these family dynamics and not looking at them from an aspect of school is we think that you're supposed to hold on to your classmates. If you have a classmate that is not moving at your pace, because this is what enlightenment is, this is what evolution is. As you grow in your wisdom, you're going to continue to move forward. And some may move faster than most because some may just retain a lot more of their soul fragments. So they're able to understand what we're really here to do. And they're not wasting no time. They hitting the ground running and they taking off. They know what they came here to do. They so already programmed for it. If, let's say me, I'm moving forward. I know where I'm going. And I have my bestie, Kimberly, who I grew up with. She wants to stay close. I understand Kimberly wants to stay close. We the same age, we moving forward. But I understand that and I'm supposed to graduate sooner. I've gotten skipped a grade. Maybe Kimberly got left back once. Because of all these dynamics, I can't hold on to Kimberly because that means I can't move forward. This is how we get stuck with family dynamics, thinking that just because you have that blood tie to someone else, that means they stick to you like glue. No, they're more like an ankle weight. And the more of them you keep holding on to, the more weight you add to your ankles. So if we are technically hot air balloons and we're supposed to be floating, and you got people holding on to your balloon, how you gonna float? How you gonna float? This is what we're facing when it comes to these family dynamics. We believe that as long as we stay close to those who we grew up with, who, are blood related, that you're taking them with you. Not everybody was built to come with you. The same way how when you graduate high school and you move on, you go to college, not everybody's going to college for the same thing. That's how you need to view it when it really comes to the family dynamics. And it's not to think that you're better than the family member. It's not to think that they are less than, that they're slower. No, they're moving at their own pace when it comes to evolution, and you're moving at yours. That's where the whole concept, I love it because my grandmother says this to me all the time. Keep your eyes on your own paper. If you are taking a test and you are sure that you know what you're doing, you're just going to do what you got to do on your test. You're not going to look over and see how fast, this person's going, or how slow this person's going, or if they paying attention, or if they trying to cheat. Focus on your own paper, you get through it quicker. And these are the distraction tactics that get thrown in the mix as well as on top of this family business, where instead of you focusing on what you need to be doing and on your growth and on your evolution and on your wisdom and how to maintain, you looking around and you're just wasting the time. And that's how your pace starts to slow you down. We talking quantum today, y'all. Now, when it comes to evolution, you got to also understand that because you are dealing with human being, some of us haven't mastered emotional intelligence. So you throw that in the mix and you get those who can't understand where you're going and why you're focused on what you're focused on when it comes to your enlightenment. Since you are past them maybe 3 years, 4 years, 7 years, 10 years, they may not understand why you're moving the way you are, and it triggers emotions that they weren't quite ready to handle or even observe within themselves. This is also why you're called to move away and to start to build in your own maturity. If you notice also with people who go away to college, sometimes they move to completely different states. Sometimes you don't even hear about that person ever again. Why? Because they've moved into the phases of life that life has taken them. And this is how it's supposed to go, y'all. We're not supposed to think that you got to hold on to everything and everyone for time's sake. It doesn't work like that. Even Genesis 2:24, it talks about a man leaving his mother and father and uniting with his wife and becoming one flesh. You leave and cleave to your new life, and you leave your old life behind. Your parents were just teachers. They're not even your true family. Your true family are the people who are aligned with your soul. I'm going to say it again. Your true family are the people who are aligned with your soul. It is not the ones who you carry their blood within your veins that you're supposed to be attached to for the rest of your life. They are here to teach you lessons about yourself, about others around you, about trust, about loyalty, about love, all these things. Now, regardless of if the lessons were positively charged or negatively charged, really honestly, there's no such thing as positives and negatives. They're all just lessons. And regardless of if you like how the lesson feels or you don't like how the lesson feels, you're gonna grow. So the whole point is you get the lesson. Regardless, the lessons are there. Now, some of us signed up to receive some very hard lessons. So yes, I will tell you, if you receive some really weird family dynamics, because I know I have, it was purposeful. You learned a lot. Regardless if you may think, oh no, it may have hurt a lot, but you learned a lot. And that's what you came here to do. You came here to learn through the experience. And congratulations, because you did. Because you did. So now that you have all those lessons, what do you do with them? Have you learned that trust with, being blind is something that you don't want to do? Have you learned that there are people who, regardless of how many times they apologize to you, they're going to keep doing the same things? Have you learned that people are going to view you the way that they viewed you when you were a little girl, regardless of what you've done and where you are now in life? Have you learned the lessons is the question, because this may be the reason why you still have some of them around. These lessons haven't fully sunk in for you. That the damage that they've done, you haven't accepted that damage is supposed to grow you. So now that it's grown you, or you're starting to sprout understandings where you're looking at some of these situations and you're like, wait a minute. If you love me, but you do this, those things don't act the same thing. Yeah, that's exactly what you're supposed to learn. And God will allow family dynamics to teach it to you, because that's one of the hardest lessons to learn. That the people who you grew up with, the people who are supposed to love you the hardest, are the ones who could do you the worst. The only person you can fully trust in the world is God. So that is a lesson to learn. Until you find your true soul tribe, people who love themselves so much that they won't do someone else bad because they love themselves and they won't want nobody. Until you find those people, you are subject to the painful lessons of the world. And let's make it through. Let's get through. Let's understand it and then move on, because it's not forever. It's not supposed to last forever. So if you've been dealing with it a long time, you've been called to let it go for a long time. Now, since I'm touching on time, let's go ahead and get into time. Time is probably one of the worst aspects of the family dynamics that we hold on to. I know many who have so many people they've picked up as family who were in need of a family. Yes, there are people who you will meet who are in need of your presence, in need of your truths, in need of you to pour into them so that they can be nurtured, because where they were planted, they're not getting it. But again, you don't hold on to these people forever, because what will happen is they will lean on you the same way. We are energetic beings. So when you devote your energy to picking people up and they refuse to stand on their own 2 feet, after a while, you just a picker-upper. And they're going to call you to pick them up every time, because that's all they see you as. Now, it doesn't mean you don't help. You help everywhere you're supposed to, but you use discernment when it comes to being used continuously. Know your boundaries. Use discernment. Create these dynamics that allow you to do as much as you can from overflow and not from a broken glass and not from a place where you're lacking or it's stealing from your health and even stealing from your mental to pour into somebody else. Because not everybody who wants you to pour into them are willing to retain what you're pouring. Now, time. There will be times in your life that you'll notice that you have an older aunt, older uncle, older cousin, someone who surpasses you in earth years, but does not surpass you in wisdom. Recognize those dynamics as well, because where they may be in a position of teacher, they may not be qualified to teach. Think about it. Right now, I have an 11-year-old who's still at home. There are adults who she does not trust to assist her with certain things. She told me at 4 years old she needed to learn how to read because she did not trust that all adults know everything. So I need to know how to do it for myself. At 4. This is a lesson that I know 84-year-olds don't have in the bag yet. But she came built with this lesson already instilled, that she needed to understand certain aspects of the world for herself so that she was not codependent. Yes, we out here raising little geniuses, y'all. That's what we do out here. We raise geniuses. We learn and grow so we can learn and grow good, baby. Now, again, we shame no one. So it's not about understanding that this person is not wise enough to surpass when it comes to age. It's integrating the lessons. Some are just geared toward wisdom and enlightenment, very different. Some of us came here to serve others, to help enlighten others. And there's usually one in the family who came here to bear that torch. That is going to be the person who is disrespected. You're going to be the person who's ostracized. You're going to be the black sheep. That's going to be who you are. Wear that black coat. Like, come on, wear it bad. Wear it bad. God, give me a nice leather black lush sheep fur. I digress, y'all. I would also need some boots to match it. So, oh yeah, I'm still on it. I'm sorry. But yeah, remember, if you're the first one to wake up to this matrix lifestyle, you're going to be alone. You're going to be the only one, and you're going to wonder why things don't feel right. I had to really embody and understand, like, why am I've been fighting my whole life to get away from this family. Why would it be like this? Now, you would have others be like, oh, how bad was it? It's not about it being bad. It's knowing where you didn't fit. That's it. Imagine looking at a whole bunch of puzzle pieces, and every puzzle piece is in gray, black, and white, and you have this one puzzle piece that is red, and you know that it don't go to this puzzle. That's how it is. You're going to pick up that piece, and every single day you look at that piece, you're not going to keep trying to find a place for it after a while, because you're going to realize, even when you look on the picture on the box, there's nothing red in this puzzle. You understand that the piece don't fit. So now it's figuring out where that piece go, because trying to make it fit here would be foolish. All right, being called to grab my cards, y'all, so we're going to get the cards. All right, what's holding on to these families? What's holding on to the family dynamics, y'all? Well, we're on the floor, y'all. Y'all gonna have to wait. Let me get this card. All right, so the card we have here is possibilities. Follow your dreams, make up your mind, and believe in yourself. That's one of the hardest lessons, too, is that a lot of us don't learn to believe in ourselves from our family dynamics. And it takes for you to move away, for you to begin to get that. It took that for me. I remember that where I was planted, there was nothing for me to gather from there, because where I was headed, they were not teaching. Imagine going to a school saying, I'm going to be a doctor, but I'm in a school that teaches law. I'm not going to get what I need. I need to go to get my doctorate, not to be sitting here learning about law. This is what it takes sometimes. So you have to recognize where you don't fit. The next reason, boundaries. Yes. Disrespect through enough is enough, and defend yourself. That's what it takes. Defend yourself. Now, when we state defending yourself doesn't mean to physically have to. It means moving away and defending what you believe in, what is true to yourself. Because remember, that's the whole purpose of us being here, to operate in truth, to operate in reality. Because if it feels good, it is God. Only God is good. Everything else, if it does not feel good, it ain't God. It's that simple. You don't like where you were, guess what? God didn't put you there. Because if you don't like how it feels, He did not make that your reality. Your reality is not supposed to be fitting in all the things you don't want to be doing. That was for somebody. So yes, it's the boundaries. It's saying enough is enough, and understanding that just because you are love related doesn't mean you allow disrespect. We don't do this. That's not it. Because if you really love somebody, they respect you. Next one I have, dirty little secrets. Oof, love affair. Now, I do know of certain family dynamics where you have to live that life of what happens in the family don't get discussed. If that has to be a rule, you already know that ain't nothing positive happening then. Because you should not have to keep anything that is hurtful to yourself and away from the world to protect someone else. That's not it. And a true family dynamic should not include it. So if that's something you're being taught, you already should be looking at your family dynamic like, what am I doing here? Am I supposed to be here? Who orchestrated this? Think about it. I'm gonna get one more. Oh, two more came out. We got nurturing, mentorship, wisdom, and giving back. That's the purpose. You're here to learn from family. Now, those lessons aren't always going to be positive. Some people are born into beautiful family dynamics. Oh my gosh. And for those, you'll even find that you could be born in a family dynamic, but the way you think about your evolution, about enlightenment, about wisdom is very different, and you still would have to move away. Part of this journey we call life is moving out to find yourself, getting away from what you think you know to replace it with truth. So you're going to have to go find more wisdom, more mentorship, because staying where you are is not going to feed you. And the other one I have is laughter, happiness, joy, and healing. It's going to take for you to leave, to find that healing. All of it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you come from a bad, because I don't even like the word bad, because I really have understood now, good and bad don't even exist. They don't. They do not exist. It's all just experiences. All of it. We're here to learn lessons. So if you're in a situation where the lessons are just not comfortable, you need to heal from those lessons. There may be some things that you had to sit through in your family dynamic. Maybe it wasn't bad. You had a loving family. You had a loving mother, father, and siblings who cared. But maybe the religious aspect in your household wasn't for you. That wasn't what you were supposed to be studying. Because everyone here is different. Understand that. In the Tower of Babel, I don't know why this is coming up. It's for somebody. In the Tower of Babel, God sent all these different tribes in different places. We are supposed to accept the spirituality of others, because everyone's spirituality is supposed to be unique. It is to your soul's caliber. Many people get caught up in these whole, I'm this race, I have to fight for this people. You have no idea what people you were in any of your past lives. So if you say you have to fight for a specific set of people, you are limiting yourself. We don't need to limit ourselves. Don't limit yourself by what you are, by where you came from. You are so much more than that. You are expansive. You are of God. So when we get away from forcing ourselves to fit into boxes, you can expand your mind to the fullest. Now, where are we going? Okay, here. Alright, so we're going to get guidance. Give me some guidance, please. Give me some guidance cards, please. It was full on the floor. Alright, the card we have here is believe. You're being asked to fully believe in yourself and your dreams. It is time for that idea that lived inside your heart to be brought into the world so that others can benefit from it. Believe that you can and bring it to life, and you will do exactly that. If you have a dream within you, because this is also somebody else, somebody here. You being called to step up. If you have a dream within you, and you know that regardless of how much you've told people around you who are your family, that this is your dream, that this is something you care about, that this is the area you need to go and this is your direction, and they don't support you, do it anyway. Do it anyway. God doesn't place a dream in your heart for no reason at all. People will say, oh, that's too big, or you can't do that. Someone will try to talk you out of it, but that's what their job is to do, to try to talk you out of it. Your job is to overcome the fact that someone who you love or care about is going to try to talk you out of it. That's the point. Because remember, it's still your life. So you have to be the one to do it. You have to be the one to free yourself from the family dynamics that are keeping you held back. All of it is about you. You're the main character in your story. So no one can stop you from doing the things you need to do, except for you. Get another advice card. Some advice, please. Here we got speak up. Y'all, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do it together, y'all. We're going to free you, and we're going to do it together. What you are not saying, what are you not saying that's eating you up inside? You can't keep it in forever. It's time to let it out so that you can move on and be happy. Again, we live in these family dynamics that teach you to be hush about things. And some of it you're never supposed to be hush about. I remember being silenced as a kid. I was one of those kids who wasn't able to kind of speak their mind because what I had to say hurt feelings because it was geared toward truth. Now, people say the truth hurts. No, the truth only hurts your ego. Truth don't hurt. Truth sets you free. Notice how when you find out the truth about something, a weight is lifted. Even if it's something you didn't want to be your truth, you now can move in the right direction. A lot of people, oh my gosh, this person would cheat on me. I wish I didn't know. No. You needed to know because you needed to move accordingly. You're going to live in a lie? No. We live in truth. Why? Truth is so much better. The lie does nothing but delay you and then have you in your head. Don't do that. One more. We have change. I'm telling you, God is on point. God is good. God is good all the time, y'all. You're being asked to change a part of yourself that no longer feels like the person you're becoming or that you have become. Change isn't always easy, but letting go of the outdated parts of yourself will allow you to align with your true self. We're being asked to change. Change the ideas that we've allowed to fester about what family is. Change the ideas that the world have planted within you to think that these limitations exist and you can't get out of them. Change how you view the people who are your family. Because if these people don't respect you, but these people do, these people are your true family. Because family is not supposed to be built on lies. Family is supposed to be built on truth, on honor, on respect, on moral. All of that is supposed to help you grow. So this is why you're seeing the world move away from the idea of family and moving into the idea of soul tribe. Because your soul is aligned with some people who are in the same mental state as you. People who are in the same stage of evolution as you. Those are your family. They're here to help you grow. They're here to give you balance. If you are living in turmoil, that is not where you're supposed to be. Remove yourself and find true love. Find true soul tribe. They're here. You just got to look for them. And as long as you hold on to what you have in your hands, you're not going to find them because you're too busy juggling things that don't fit in your life anymore. I'm going to get one card from your higher self. I love this deck. This is my future higher self oracle deck. It's my favorite deck. We're going to get just one from this deck. Alright, so we're just going to get one card, y'all. higher self, what do you gotta say? And this is from your future self. This is who you're becoming. This is what they want to tell you. Okay? I got, be patient. Trust the wait. Everything is coming together. Yeah, this is what it's gonna call for. The journey isn't easy, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. The journey isn't quick, because if it was quick, people would jump on a bandwagon. Then, oh, voila, yeah, I found family. No, it's not, because in the process of shedding everything that you were carrying, that you thought made you who you are, you have to now give time to heal those aspects, to cover them back up, to cover them with the truth, versus just leaving the wound open. We don't wallow in the pain and the hurt. We look at the truth and we accept that that's what it is. This was probably the one thing that got me through everything, was understanding that as painful as it may be, to rip the band-aid off, to say, you know what, I'm gonna have to rock alone for a bit. One thing I didn't have was I didn't have to worry about who was not being honest with me. I didn't have to worry about who was pretending. I didn't have to worry about what was being said about me, but not to my face. And the reason is because as I'm alone, because remember, you're not really alone, you're with God, but you're in solitude. As you're alone with your thoughts, with yourself, and you're developing, you accept that you can always be good to you. And within that, you begin to heal the understanding of what the world has told you to believe versus what you know you believe in your head and your heart. All right, I'm gonna leave this here. This is probably maybe about a 35-minute video, y'all. Didn't expect it. I thought it was gonna be 10 minutes. It is what it is. You're gonna get this content. I might break it up into 2 videos, but you know what it is. Thank you so much for being present. I love you all. Definitely leave me a comment on this. Tell me how you feeling. How you dealing with your family dynamics? Do you come from a skewed family dynamics that you know you gotta evaluate, that is just, it stings, but you know you can get through it? Or you just looking for a safe place to get through it but not have to go at it alone? That's one of the best things. The Lord has brought people into your life who went through it alone, with Him, but alone, so that you don't have to. You don't have to. If you've been through that, guess what? We are family. Why? Because you've been through the same thing I've been through. Let's talk about it, so I can help you heal faster than it took me. Because I at least I can help you understand the lessons that you were supposed to grab from it. Oh yeah. Your girl got lessons for days. Looks like if you've been through it, I've been through it all. Hit me up. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. And I am going to catch you in the next one. Love and light, y'all. Yeah. Peace.